Hi, my name is Savannah Woolwarding, and this is my video project. With so many different belief systems around the world, it's so interesting to read how different each one is. After our last paper, I was very intrigued with the thought of science proving God to be a fluke. So I decided for this video project, I will be revolving this video assignment over the argument of the existence versus non-existence of God. As far as defining the word God, I really can't. Each God and each belief is seen to be different and have many different views within it. Summing things up, a God in my word is a figure in someone's beliefs that they worship in some form or way, educating themselves as much as they can on this God and following the guided path they have set for them. Whether or not I believe in a God is not the topic at hand. I am here to talk about three philosophical interpretations: humanism, monism, and deism, and the way these beliefs view God in their own way. Do they believe or do they not believe? If they do believe in a God, who is it and how do they perceive him? Starting off with humanism, just by the word itself, you can understand their main view: humans. This approach is targeted towards each individual human, their value and morals as who they are within. This is a very personal, free, and self-loving approach one can take, in my opinion. With that being said, these humanists, is what they are referred to, do not believe in a God. Trusting the scientific method when it comes to understanding how the universe works and rejecting the idea of the supernatural, humanists, in approaching life from a human perspective, start with human ways of comprehending the world and the goal of meeting human needs. Geared towards mankind and the ability to reach the sky on their own terms, this approach is taken by believing there is no higher power, there is no God. With no evidence to prove them wrong, humanists believe in creating a better world for humans, but not for worshiping a God. This is from morals and standards, going above and beyond to meet your needs and wants on your own through compassion, experience, and reliable knowledge. Humanists believe that human experience and rational thinking provide the only source of both knowledge and a moral code to live by. They reject the idea of knowledge revealed to humans being by gods or in special books. Monism, on the other hand, is the view that reality consists of one fundamental ultimate essence. It comes from the Greek mono, which means one, but there are in fact a few different kinds of monism. Materialistic monism and idealistic monism are the two I am going to be referring to. With the mindset that God has nothing to do with creation, monist people do not believe in God. The materialistic view is the belief that nothing exists apart from the material world, which is physical matter, your brain. Materialistic psychologists generally agree that consciousness, which is your mind, is the function of the brain. Idealistic monism consists of saying that the mind is all that exists and that the physical world is a mental projection or an illusion created by the mind. Both being a little similar when thinking that the world could be just a simulation to some people and that the mind is the ultimate power they hold. The universe is really just one substance and we are just going through our one life simulation. These people truly believe that what you learn and your knowledge is your power and that you only have one life and you need to live that life. They don't believe that there's a certain way to live the life that you are living based off of a God and going through what God has set up for you to do. So that is what these monism people believe in. Moving on to deism, this is a belief in a God who created the universe but does not govern world events, does not answer prayers, and has no direct involvements in human affairs. In other words, these deist people do believe in the fact that God did create the world and the people and everything within, but that is it. God does not interfere in their lives after that, believing that God now, after creating everything, is just sitting back and watching. Of the three, humanism, monism, and deism is the only one that acknowledges that there is in fact a God. There's no worshiping or praying to him though. He is viewed more as a creator, but an afterthought if anything. So these deism people do in fact believe in a God. They don't believe that he has any say in your life or anything that's going on in your life. You know, like when people say, like, oh, why did God do this to me? They don't think that way. You know, they think God created all this for us and that's it. There's no praying to him. There's no talking to him or trying to get answers to him. They don't believe him to be some physical form that can answer prayers and do things for people. They just believe him to have created the earth, created everything within it, and that is it. In conclusion, I found this assignment to be very interesting. It's hard to imagine that there are so many different views amongst people, but this truly shows that individually every single person is different. Different in looks, personality, morals, beliefs, and ways of life. It shows that people should be more open to listening to what others have to say about topics and be more understanding of the different beliefs within the world. Not everyone is going to believe in a God, but regardless, they are believing in something or someone. So overall, the three that I had talked about, humanism, monism, and deism, I personally enjoyed all of them. I thought that they all have like really good points. My personal view on God is like very hard to describe because growing up, I was not really all too religious, and I'm still all not that religious anymore. My mother is Christian and my dad is a Catholic, so we, going to church and stuff, it was very, which one do we want to go to? And ever since then, we haven't really done much with God. I do feel like having a spiritual figure in your life is a positive, and that it helps with hope and trying to get your life together. But I do, in fact, with the deism part, I do believe that I like their stance on the whole, like God created the earth, but that was it, that there was like no answers or no praying to be done to him. Not saying that like we should not be praying to a God or anything. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying that point of view made a lot more sense to me, other than just like not believing in anything to happen. Obviously the world was created, humans were created, a lot was going on, but there's no proof really to believe in anything physically. Spiritually you can believe in whatever you want to believe in. There should be no rules or laws over who you want to praise and who you want to despise, and heaven or hell. There is no actual proof of any of that. But in order for people to feel better and to feel like there is, they do believe in something and they do pray to a God. Religion and having a God to pray for is very important. I think it's amazing that all over the world there are just tons of religions and they're all so different. I think it's crazy that a lot of people throw hate at other religions. I mean, what is the point of that? Religion is amazing, and it brings people to life. It gives them so much more to look forward to. And I just think that overall, everybody in this world needs to be accepting and just be loving to each other, because in the end, all we have is each other and humans and mankind, and separating each other with hate and with you can't do this because we do this, or you're doing it wrong. That doesn't even make sense. Who are you to tell somebody what to believe in? Who are you to tell somebody their beliefs are wrong? What are they doing that's truly affecting your life? There really aren't any answers to that. People need to be more welcoming and more appreciative over the fact that we're even able to worship and be a part of any kind of religion in general.